Well, Zelensky is absolutely right, and this is an important and timely interview that you have secured. He is correct that Putin only understands strength, either military strength or the pressure of really severe sanctions. And if you don't want to have to do the former, you better start doing the latter properly. So I completely agree. Now is the time where we really want to be ramping up pressure. The President of the United States has given Putin every opportunity, every chance to create the conditions for this war to end. It's his war. And really now we need to start ramping that up.
But some would say, and I think President Zelensky would say the same, President Trump has also been given every opportunity to ramp up the pressure himself. He isn't, is he?
Well, look, I mean, the Ukrainians have done an amazing job. Back at the start of the war, people thought this would have been all over and they would be on the losing side within a matter of weeks. They have managed to keep going despite intermittent delivery of arms. It is an extremely hot war on the front line, enormous numbers of casualties. But that is every reason why, if we in the West really want to support Ukraine, we have to give them every chance of putting the pressure back on to Russia. And what we've seen is that Putin has taken the opportunities that the President of the United States has given him, and he is trying to normalize things. He's trying to pretend this is business as usual. We've had India, for example, exercising with Russia in recent days. We can't let this be normalized. It is an outrageous act that he has done, and he has got to pay the price for it, and we have got to create the conditions for this to come to an end.
The problem is the element of leverage. We've heard Donald Trump recently say that NATO states need to stop buying Russian oil. Western European countries still buy Russian gas. As long as that's the case, there's no way they're going to be bounced into changing what they should.
Well, look, I think he is right. I mean, it's crazy that situation still exists this far into the war. What we also need from the United States is a commitment to keep sanctions on that keep pressure on Russia. We've seen a recent relaxing, for example, of certain sanctions on neighbouring nations, and that will just enable Russia to get its hands on civil aviation parts and other things that it's really desperate for. So we need a coordinated approach. We need to remain hopeful that we can create the conditions for this war to end, but we do need to do more. This can't be business as usual and us expect a different result.
But really, if Western governments, so we're looking at France, the UK, Germany, are embattled at home and they are paranoid, understandably, about a cost of living crisis, if they push too hard, Russia turns off the gas, where are we then?
Well, look, last week, our own First Sea Lord said we had 4 years to put ourselves on a war-fighting footing, 4 years to prepare for a serious conflict. That, I'm afraid, is the situation we are in. This is not just hostilities against Ukraine, it's hostilities against NATO nations. We've seen incursions into NATO nations' airspace. All of our nations are under cyber attack on a pretty much hourly basis from Russia and other hostile states. We have got to get serious. One of the stress points, I think, in this US state visit is going to be the issue of defence spending. The Prime Minister has made all kinds of commitments to the new NATO floor of 3.5% on pure defence and 1.5% on things that complement that. But we haven't seen any money yet. And we're coming up against that budget. And I have to say, we should listen to our own military leaders. This nation is going to be in trouble if it doesn't start to bolster its defences. Most commentators are now entertaining the possibility that we are going to have to be involved in a conflict ourselves in a few years' time unless that changes.
Yeah, and it's already been a few years in and it's attritional and hundreds of thousands of lives have been affected and the rest of it. Let's just come back, Penny Mordaunt, to what President Zelensky said to my colleague Yalda. He wants a written assurance from President Trump. He wants Keir Starmer to ask for that, guaranteeing support. Do you think Keir Starmer will ask for that? And if he does, do you think he'll get it?
Well, I hope that they will be discussing those security guarantees. What is critical is that a serious deterrent to future Russian aggression is stood up. And that really does require the US to be part of it. I mean, the president, all credit to him, has indicated that he is up for helping in certain ways, and that's really important. But we want to make sure that is locked in. Without a credible deterrent in the future, then it doesn't matter about a few boots on the ground or any agreement that's signed at the end of this. That is the only thing that Putin understands. It's strength. The president's policy is peace through strength. Let's have some.
Penny Mordaunt, really appreciate your time this morning here on Sky News. Thank you very much indeed.